Alright, what's up, people? I'll show you how to install DH client in this one. And I I skipped all the foreplay and decided just to go ahead and log in and bind and everything else that I usually do in the beginning. Okay, but if you are not doing this on your booted OS and you're doing this through a chroot environment, you need to do that. If you don't know how to do that, you can check out any of my other videos in this series, and I think I chroot in all of them. So here we go. So here I am as root right now, but I want to log in as my user, and my user Will Douglas. Okay, and we're ready to go. So first, I'm going to cd into my new sources directory, and in a previous tutorial, we went oh, new GPM. Fix that. I have to put some GPM on here so I can have a pointer. Sorry. Okay. In a previous tutorial, I think it might have been the first one, we went shopping, and this is some of the stuff that we got. If you didn't get this stuff, go back and get this. Okay. I think it might have been tutorial 1 when I got it. If some of the links are broken or whatever like that, actually you can just Google them and you'll probably find them. Or you can go where I go, Open Source Labs, and get them. Okay, just these over here, not the ones to the left, not the ones, not NASM and everything else, just DHCP. You need a client script, missing patch, and of course the DHCP 4.2.4 P2 tar-gz. I also got the DHCP CD, which is a server, and I'm not going to use that. Okay, so that's what we'll be installing. So let me go back up here and we'll pull down some documentation to run by. And let me see, where am I at? Directory. CD into book. BLFS. Let me say links. Index HTML. I'm just going to search for DHCP. See, I have 2 selections here. I want to go to the bottom one. Okay, which is DHCP 4.2.4 P2. Okay. And DHCP package contains both client and server. I'm only going to be installing the client in this one. I don't really see a need for the server right now. Okay, and I'm not going to. Well, I'll show you in a second. But this is the where to go get it. Okay, I'm not sure if that link works. I think it does. The patches URL here, I don't think that does work, but I'm not sure. I had to find the patch. I don't know. I think I might have got it from there, but I think I had to search for the archives and find a patch in there. I'm not sure, but it's out there somewhere. Okay. So here it says kernel configuration. You must have packet source support. Blah blah blah. Okay. Enter the kernel. If you do not have IPv6 support, which I don't have IPv6, okay, you have to use the missing IPv6 patch. Okay. So if you don't have IPv6, which I don't have it compiled into my kernel, you have to install the patch. Now you can tell if you have IPv6 if you go into your LFS and you can say you want to cat out proc net let me see, proc net wasn't proc net, procsys net procsys net. Let me clean that up. Cat out proc sys net IPv6. Okay. Procnet IPv6, say config line O, and you can actually just cat that out. Now it seems a little vague on how to get there and everything else, and I'm sure there's easier ways to figure out IPv6 if you have it or not. Okay, but this has two. There's a split meaning to this too. When you cat out this file, okay, and the value returns 0, that means that you have IPv6 enabled. Okay. Coincidentally, you can also disable IPv6 by saying echo. You can echo 1 into that file, and it'll turn IPv6 off. So if that value comes back at 1, IPv6 is off. Okay. Which I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what you can do. So I have IPv6 in the kernel, but it's not fully implemented. There's some stuff missing out of it. Okay, there's some other drivers that I have to do, which involves recompiling the kernel, so I'm not really going to do that right yet. Right? So I have pieces of IPv6, and I'll get some type of I'll get some output warning me about IPv6 and everything else when I do install this, but it's really not an issue enough for me to recompile my whole kernel again. Okay, so but you can turn off IPv6 by doing that. So having said that, let's get right to the nitty gritty. We're just going to say tar xpf or package. Okay, and I want to cd into it. Clear it up, and it says if you have not compiled with IPv6 support into the kernel, apply the missing patch. So you can basically say I haven't compiled it with the correct support for IPv6. Some of it might be there, but not all of it's there. So I am going to apply the patch. So from within here, patch np1-i and DHCP blah 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 and missing tab. Okay, now patch. This says it failed. I'm not sure if the whole thing failed, which I'm assuming the whole thing failed, but this fails. When I got this to work one time and I had to hunt for the patch somewhere, and it actually worked. I think it actually ended up being on FileWatcher or something like that. Alright? But to kind of preserve the integrity of the videos, I didn't want to use that again because I didn't want to really do anything that you couldn't see I was doing. Now, this fails for me, but at the same time, I can still use my DH client. Right? So, it fails, but I can still succeed. So, I'll go on. And the next patch actually fails too, but I can go on, so that's okay for me, for right now. And be careful with the instructions below, blah blah blah, single variable, double quotes, yeah, okay. If you leave out a couple quotes, you'll definitely notice a little issue, right? So next it says I have to apply a patch, which is the client script patch, which is going to fail for me also. Okay, that's okay. And it says here cflags equals, let's say d_path_dh client _script equals, encapsulate that with single quotes, take out this double quote at the end, / or backslash quote / sbin / dh client - script. Okay. I think that's right, and I'll check it for a second. dpath DH client script equals capsulate spin DH client script. True. Okay. And we'll bring it in here to short up. We want to say D underscore path underscore DHCPD underscore config equals capsulate / etc DHCP DHCPD.config escape double. And we'll just take an eyeball and say R over the single, which is in the book is true, and we'll say S over F and config, which is true. Okay, so we're good. Pop a new line, tag in, and we'll say dpath underscore DH client underscore config equals capsulate escape double forward etc DHCP / DH client dot config escape double pop out double new line. See if that's right. T over the F in config is true, and we have a C over N in client. It's true. Good. Now we can say configure prefix equals user. Pull that down. I'm going to say sysconf dir equals etc DHCP and local state directory equals var. Okay, with serve lease file equals var lib DHCPD / DHCPD dot leases. See if that's right. Looking good. With serve 6 lease file equals var lib DHCPD DHCPD 6 dot leases. Okay, and S over the S and leases. Good. Let's also say with client lease file equals var lib DH client / DH client dot leases. S over D and leases. Good. Okay, it's got that weird feeling like something was wrong. Say with cli 6 lease file equals var lib DH client / DH client 6 dot leases double S S over the S. Okay. That says and you can then you can tag on and make at the end, but sometimes I don't like to do that because it skips right through the configure, and so sometimes I like to actually see not cutting. Not